The Sentai Review, episode 142, Cars Broke Down, Turbo, part 3 review. Due to some situations that are taking place, we're back to old recording.
Old school.
Yep. It should still work. I don't see a reason. We did this for years and it worked out just fine. Yeah. So I imagine it'll be fine. But just to let you know, that's the reason the episode is going to sound the way it's going to sound today, because we have to jump back in time while we're getting all our stuff situated.
Which, for anybody who watched the live stream, you know why our shit is being situated.
Yes. Speaking of jumping back in time, today we have to jump back to 1997. Sad year. A sad year.
So sad I only have 2 notes for what we're about to talk about.
Because every accomplishment that 2007 brought us, Metal Gear,
2 notes.
Final Fantasy VII.
Wow, that's a lot less than mine.
Yeah. I quit giving a fuck.
It just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what we accomplished in that year, because we had Power Rangers Turbo.
Metal Gear Solid came out in 98.
Yup. So we got space with Metal Gear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Metal Space.
Metal Space.
I was also watching Gundam Wing and other good shit off of...
Gundam Wing would have been out by then.
Yeah, I was watching all of that off of Toonami, which is the reason why I remember the ending. When we get to the last couple of episodes, I was like, oh fuck, I remember this. And then the rest of it, I was like, I remember why I don't remember this.
I remember why I don't remember. Oh, yes. My God, yes. So, Reploid Bill, William Bush.
Seth Level Saria.
Scott Action Jackson.
Shane McCree, Proto Guy.
Hey guys, I know you're about to get your podcast on, so I'll be quick. If at any time you feel like dropping your own opinion into what we're talking about, head on over to fandomnight.com, and all of the contact information for every single one of our shows, including the one you're about to watch, is there. Alright guys, I'll leave you alone.
Okay, so here we are talking about Turbo.
Let's shift into Turbo.
No.
Sorry, my key. I dropped it. Can't touch tips.
Actually, the sad thing is, throughout most of these episodes, they don't even put their keys into their morphers.
Maybe if one of you long-arm motherfuckers would come over here and help move this barrel, we could fucking touch tips. But no, nobody wants to help.
So, listen, rookie.
I can't stand up for us to touch tips. Oh, you have 2 tips. Oh, okay.
Listen, rookie, you gotta earn the ability for us to help you move barrels.
Do I have to deal with all the dirty looks and shit from the other guys that were here before me while I get this put together?
Oh, you mean the actual experienced guys? Whereas literally my first note, we don't even have to get into the show. You're absolutely right. These guys are completely blind and stupid and hardcore inexperienced. Literally the first 5 fucking seconds. Hey, let's make a wish at this fucking public fountain. Okay. Oh, by the way, here are the bad guys who are fucking like 10 feet goddamn tall, 10 feet the fuck away from me.
Literally fishing out coins on the other side of the fountain and nobody fucking noticed them.
Listen, when you're wishing, you don't got time to pay attention to your surroundings, okay?
No shit.
Justin wants his daddy.
Anyway, it's Beware the Third Wish.
Yes, yeah, we are on Beware the Third Wish. That is our episode 1. That's 31. Are we already done with that, by the way? Suffice to basically he wishes for his daddy.
Yeah.
Doesn't his daddy finally come back? Not because of the wish, but because... Oh, one thing I will bring up.
Technically at the end of the next episode, because this is a 2-parter.
There's one thing worth bringing up about this episode.
I was going to say, I got quite a few notes on this episode. So.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that surprises me, because these episodes suck a dick, so please.
Don't make me laugh, it hurts. I threw out my mouth and I don't know how. It hurts to do anything but sit.
First, hey, the Blue Centurion returns. Oh, wait, he returns to become a bad guy. Never mind.
Okay, yeah, he comes back and then a wish is made on the coin that turns him into a bad guy. And by the way...
Are you kidding me?
You mean the second wish? Because the first wish was asked for
hair.
Howard Elzar.
I'm still gonna stick to the idea.
Elgar's fucking hair was fucking amazing.
And for how long the kids kept thinking...
That was amazing.
That was amazing. He had fucking wonderful locks.
I'm telling you, he was looking like Howard Stern from back in the day.
Dude. But before we go any further, I will say that in terms of damn it, we were just fucking talking about this. I hate these episodes so goddamn. No.
The Blue Centurion?
Blue Centurion. I still stick to the idea that because he's a cop, that explains why he's not there sometimes. I still am under the belief that there is a chance that there are certain times he has to ask for permission to do the things he's supposed to do. Because he's not a cop from Earth, and he is a cop, and he's held to a certain standard, and his jurisdiction has limits. There may be strange situations that come up that we're never privy to, that we never get to see, that explain why sometimes there's things going down and he does not come out with a Zord. And you'll also notice that when his Zord comes out, this is because the Sentai was different than the American footage, but if we have to give credence to the American footage, he is often escorted by Earth policemen.
Yeah. Anytime his Zord comes out, you'll see smaller cop cars.
Which means that somehow, somewhere, some way, he's integrated into our earthly police system. He's an American cop in Angel Grove.
That's why he can give out parking tickets.
Yes. Now, what this means, however, is that it's the same idea as when a Chinese cop comes over to help us with an investigation. He has to be cleared on certain jurisdictions, and he still has to report to somebody on our field. Right. So there's possibly times when he has to get some sort of decree in order to be escorted by the police in order to bring that big giant Zord out and fight monsters in the middle of the city. Yep. There may be legitimate reasons why he doesn't appear in certain episodes.
I like how you,
and yes, I
like how you use Rush Hour.
Kiss my ass.
I like how
Kiss the dragon.
Yeah.
But speaking of the Sentai
he was in Paris.
That's okay.
Yeah,
same concept.
it's still the same concept.
You were more or less using Rush Hour.
No. You were thinking Rush Hour.
That also comes down to Rush Hour, but yeah.
It's the same shit, yeah.
Yep.
But speaking of the Sentai footage, also during this episode, we see these swords debuting.
You know, it was weird that they didn't even give us so much as a backhanded comment like, Rangers, new swords. Why not? Because why?
Right.
Listen, man.
Look, they needed the swords because, once again, evil Rangers have that ability to stab the ground and fucking spark wave and kill you.
True, they do. I don't know why. That's an evil ability.
Yeah.
And once we get to some evil Rangers.
Well, it's like, think about it. It's like in Star Wars. Evil uses electricity.
Yeah. Evil uses electricity is right. In Star Wars, it's the same concept.
You use electricity in Star Wars, you're automatically bad guy. Even if you're a good Jedi.
If you tap the ground and shoot weird, smoky lines of death, you're a bad guy. You're a bad guy.
Yep.
But if you're a good guy, you can hurt a motherfucker's hands.
It's true.
Yep.
It's
bad.
True. You sure you throw shit at people? They fucking like, ah! It hurts so much that it causes them to flip.
And demorph.
Yeah.
It hurts them hands bad.
Dude, that's fucking, because of how that footage is cut, dude. That is the most awkward ass thing I've ever seen. I'm like, did he get hit in the hands and flip?
He did.
Yeah.
Like how he drops his weapons and he's like, oh shit, he fucking forward flips onto the ground. Yeah, then after he hits the ground on his back, he rolls over onto his stomach and he can barely crawl and he demorphs.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, Jason, you are the strongest motherfucker ever.
He's like, I'll straight fuck your hands up. He's like, don't fuck around.
Mm-hmm. Well, thankfully we don't get that part with the Blue Centurion and TJ, but they do put up an interesting fight.
Yeah.
Well, I think TJ is a decent, becoming...
This also showcases what I've been talking about. Whatever this police officer thing is, he's stronger than our Rangers.
He's a robot.
Yeah. Even if you want to argue that they don't want to hurt him, that does not fucking matter. Any martial arts expert will tell you that if you are faced with an enemy and you don't wish to hurt them, you can do that.
Yep.
You can do that. And first off, he's a robot. So whether they don't want to hurt him or not, they know he's a robot. They could blast his arms and legs off and then heal him.
Yep.
True, but
or attempt to.
You know how Power Rangers is, though. they don't want to hurt you, you know. And to be fair, like, I know you're augmented, but the fact that the Blue Centurion is stronger makes you wonder, like, is that his full potential? Because he's fighting augmented people.
It might be this time. Because now that he's a, quote, bad guy, this might be the first time we don't see him holding back. He was fighting Rangers.
Yeah.
And that just shows you how strong he is, because every Ranger...
But then again, at the same time...
They're holding back.
When he very first shows up, he beats all of our Rangers back when he was still a, quote, good guy. And he just thought that they were the bad guys, and they didn't even know who he was. Yeah. So they were fighting him just as hard as they would a monster, and he beat them.
He's stronger.
So he is legitimately more powerful than our Rangers. Yeah. This is some sort of weird cop system that if ever it needed to operate, it could close down the Rangers.
Well, isn't he from,
I don't think they ever tell us where he's actually from.
No, because the Phantom Ranger, I think he came from Eltar or Aquitar or something like that.
He came from Eltar. That's what they say. That's what they tell you.
Nope. They don't give us a point of origin for the Phantom Ranger.
Wait. It might have been that other mysterious guy that had that message a while back.
Yes.
For Diva.
There was a guy that came for Demetria.
Yeah, he's from Eltar.
But the cop, he's an intergalactic police officer, and I think that's the only information we were given.
Yeah. Plus, at the same time, when you stop to think about it, the first time the Centurion fought him, that was the veteran team. Once again, these are
That's
rookies.
true.
Yeah.
That was the veteran team that he showed up to fight. He was fighting Tommy and them the first time, and he whooped them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
So this guy,
TJ was putting up a better fight.
Whatever this thing is, whatever the Centurion is, it's strong, and it's not a joke, and it was built for a reason, and we don't know what, but I'm telling you, the more I look at him, I think he's a freaking manhunter.
Yeah.
I think he's right out of the Green Lantern Corps. He's what came before the Lanterns. He is the robotic sentry that policed the universe. He's a manhunter.
Those are dangerous, though.
And they're dangerous.
Yeah.
Like, they've been known to thwart the Green Lanterns at times, and here we are in a universe where I've often been able to reference there's a strange connection between Lanterns and Rangers, which another one I missed. I can't believe I missed it. When you're a Green Lantern, you wear the ring. It's different for every single person. Same ring, every single person uses it differently and has different powers under the ring. Mm-hmm. Do you notice that when the powers shifted to these new guys, their morphing changed?
Yeah.
It didn't just change like when we got new guys in the past where it was they still held out the morpher and they just said the same thing. Everything about their powers changed.
Yep.
When Tommy
now when they morph, they do like this, and they all the electric hits them.
When Tommy and them changed, they had to say their car's name.
Yep.
And then they had a really awful CGI effect with their helmet and their CGI.
It would go ting 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 ting. It would like build around now they actually do this thing.
Yep, and I prefer it.
Yeah.
I actually like TJ and them's morphing over Tommy and theirs.
I do too, and it's interesting that it's different. Because it bleeds into the idea that there's something about these guys.
What's weird is that Justin, who was morphing with Tommy and them, he didn't switch powers. His powers are the same. But yet this morphing changed.
Because the connection to the grid has somehow altered.
So he still grew up, but the lightning just got added or something.
Yeah.
We also learned something about Justin as we go through these episodes too. Keep going. Yeah. What do you got next?
Hold on. Let me see where I was.
Centurion's bad guy. Oh wait.
Elgar has fantastic hair.
He does. Beautiful flowing locks.
He would have had a fucking mustache. He'd been the greatest character.
There's an actual yokai.
There is something I noticed about Demetria. When she first came in, she became the question lady.
Yes.
Now, not so much.
No. Well, there's actually a reason for this. Remember when I said that if I had to find a way to retcon her, instead of saying she came from a society that can only ask questions, which is impossible, that they could advance if that was literally how their species worked. They could not make it as far as they've made it if the only thing they could do is ever ask questions and never come up with a real answer. Because they'd be like, how does one eat? Why must one eat? Oh, we're starving.
Yeah, because
would you like food? I don't know. What would you like?
This was actually starting
hours later. Oh God,
during our previous part. It was actually starting where she wasn't really asking questions to the Rangers.
And if we had to say why, I'll explain it like this. spend enough time in Japan, speak Japanese. Mm-hmm. This is exactly what's happening here. She is living amongst humans. And her broad spectrum of contact comes from watching events that are happening on Angel Grove through things like the news and whatnot, and an accumulation of knowledge through the culture of these children that are talking to her. And even though her society is very, I think that her society is undergoing a philosophical uprising where that's the way they are. They want to question things and invent themselves and move their society forward and learn and expand on a spiritual level even.
You see,
I think that she being associated with these kids, she's starting to figure out that doesn't work here. Yep. She needs to be a little more direct. She needs to speak to them.
Yeah, instead of just Sinister Alpha.
I can't remember. Did they say she's from Eltar?
No, she was from another dimension.
She comes from some stupid planet in Queria or something.
Oh, okay, never mind. You're right. And then she is the sister of Divatox.
Yes. Now, I don't think they ever say it out loud, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there's enough evidence.
That episode where they're like, "Oh, Demetria, you're not an only child like we thought you were." And I was like, "Oh, where are we going with this?"
And then they just shut that down.
Yeah, they didn't go anywhere with that.
Shut it down.
Especially with Divatox talking like Demetria.
But we know where it was going.
Okay,
we never got the reveal, we know that they are related.
To be fair, this isn't the first time of siblings, one good, one evil.
Right.
That I can.
In Rangers? What else you got?
Anytime. I've been watching a lot of Power Rangers lately. Oh, space. Andros is a good guy. Astronema's a bad guy right now.
I guess that works, but then they both become good guys. So,
it's only because he's being brainwashed, but it doesn't matter because he doesn't know that. And he doesn't...
But technically speaking, even then, in Ranger history, technically this would be the first time, unless you want to count the bullshit of Tommy being cloned, and then at that point you have a good clone and a bad clone. But that's kind of like the old question of if you cloned yourself and fucked your clone, is that actual sex or masturbation?
And once again, robots are dumb.
Yep.
Anyway, because that causes a major plot hole.
What's the next episode, Bill?
We are looking at the Gardener of Evil.
Part 2.
Well, I suppose these
sorry. Before we move on from Beware the Third Wish, Bulk and Skull have the coin. Know that it will grant any wish they want, but even though they have the slightest bit of doubt, they're like, I don't know if this is a real thing, but it could be a real thing. At that point, they stop themselves from wishing. They had it. And they say, now, wait.
This happens in the next episode.
Yeah, that's the next episode.
This is the one with the coins. Regardless, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, it carries over into the Gardener. So
They actually say, we're not going to make a wish, because if we do, and this works, and they need it,
they might kill us.
No, they're not worried about themselves.
No.
Bulk and Skull are a very interesting idea, because they're stupid, ignorant, angry self-people.
But they will do what is right in the end.
But if you watch the show and see their development, there are parts where they get chances to show their true nature.
Yeah, towards the end, they really do.
And they knew that if they used that coin, it could screw the Rangers and the world. And even though they have things that they specifically say, when they give the coin back, they even say, so that thing would have really worked, right? And the Rangers are like, yes. It would have.
And he's like, then take it before I change my mind.
Yes, then please take it away from me because I know me and I'll use it and that's wrong.
And here's the thing.
Because literally it's in this next episode of 32 because, like I said, at the very end you get the gardener who comes in, where's my trucker hat? Oh sorry, wrong show. Because they literally in the next episode they distort his voice even worse. So instead of, hey there, buddy, how's it going? It's, hey everybody, how's it going?
Listen.
My trucker, how you at? It's like, wait a minute, what the fuck?
I was, to be here today, to do this episode, because I missed the previous two, I spent 4 straight days at work watching Turbo at work.
Ouch.
4 straight 8-hour days. Oh, except for the last day. The last day wasn't 8 hours. I didn't watch 8 hours.
Yeah, because he picked through the whole fucking series.
I was like, okay, I gotta get caught up.
Figure out what we talked about. He listened to.
I listened to both episodes first, and then I'm like, fuck. All right, let's watch it.
Yeah.
Put it right here behind my steering wheel. And there were times where I didn't watch it because I had to get out and do stuff, but always listening.
Yeah.
So I was talking to myself.
By the middle of the second episode, I was literally like,
listen,
I can't do this anymore.
Going
back
to Turbo.
I'm done.
Going back to
I can't
Turbo.
watch this shit.
Going back to Turbo as an adult, realizing that I still believe it is the worst series in Power Ranger history.
Right.
So far.
But I don't think there were episodes that were pretty decent.
Right.
There were good episodes. Okay, and I was talking to myself, I'm like, who are these monsters? Who got these voice actors? Why do you have a trucker hat? Why do you talk like Android 13? I'm like, what the hell? Why are you a redneck?
Yeah, no, trust me, I know. I did that a couple of times where I thought I heard a voice actor I knew, so I went to IMDb and double checked.
Oh, yeah.
There's only 2 times I found people that I actually knew.
I know
and the one I completely forgot about, and that's that the Pink Ranger has been Jill Valentine since RE5.
Mm-hmm.
Forgot about that one.
I told Bill I was just fucking with Bill.
Mm-hmm.
But every time the Phantom Ranger came up, I swear to God he sounded like Adam.
Right.
I swear to God he sounded like Adam. But I checked and Adam didn't voice act him. But I could have sworn. I'm like. Every time I heard him talk, I'm like, why do you sound like Adam?
You just want him to sound like Adam.
I like Adam's my second favorite fucking Ranger, okay?
Yeah, because the Flame Tiger, when he first started speaking, I thought it was Johnny D. I was like, oh God, Bender was the Flame. I was like, oh wait, no, that's not him. Okay,
listen,
fair enough.
But this second part, let's talk about, I can't remember if the arcade machine was in the first part or the second part.
It was at the very end of the previous one. At the start of this one, so.
You gotta be careful with magical wishing coins. They blow up arcade games.
Yeah, especially pinballs.
Look, it gave him the world record high score and then exploded the machine after Bulk and Skull punched it to death.
But Bill's right about Bulk and Skull. I don't like those characters that much. I honestly, because now, as you get into space and stuff, they start becoming very irrelevant, in my opinion. They had some of the better character development.
Right.
Than any other person.
I think what kills me about Turbo is they, talk about
they took them out for half of it because they were monkeys.
And now that they're back, they can't hold on to a job. They're constantly getting shit on. Nothing ever fucking works for them.
Although towards the end, they do get one job to stick with. We'll get to that.
We're going to get to an episode where, believe it or not, I don't think...
There's even an episode where the other kids laugh in their face because they just lost a job, and that actually pissed me off.
Yeah, but there's an episode where TJ, he's like, you know what? These guys could literally go to prison.
Yeah, I'll be talking about that. Yep.
I think TJ.
Yeah, because let's see, this is 32 we're on now, so yeah.
It's on 32.
This is the episode that literally I had to stop to go and watch the Bumblebee Girl video.
Oh, that's what I'm going to bring up.
The Blind Melon fucking No Rain or whatever's the song.
It's like, well, at least these things are better than the Lost Galaxy bug things.
That might be true.
Because they got workable hands.
They do, they have hands.
Yeah. So they can actually unclog your toilet.
They're not stupid bee putties with no hands that all they do is eat your food, take up space in your shit, poop everywhere, and fucking tap things with their stingers.
Yeah, well, other than bad putty bees.
They're supposed to be able to turn knobs.
At the end of that series, when we get there and they kill all the bee putties, I'm gonna mention just how fucking worthless they are, because they can't even put on their own suicide backpack.
Yep.
Somebody has to be there to put the suicide backpack on each bee putty.
Yep.
They can't do it.
If I can recall, Lost Galaxy wasn't that bad of a series.
No, it's not.
No, it's not, but the bee putties are.
Yeah, they are.
Bee putties are so bad.
At the end of this episode is where it's like, oh, look, Justin's dad's back.
Okay, I counted.
Gives us
I counted.
Yes.
I counted.
Counted what?
Justin's dad is in 3 episodes.
And he's a piece of shit.
Yep.
He's in 3?
He's a piece of shit. When he shows up, he doesn't talk about how he's been fucking downtrodden or how he had to go to the hospital because of sadness or some shit. He had a job.
Yep.
Fuck is he? He could be fucking, look, he could be Secret Service guarding the fucking president and he could still have a kid.
Yep.
And he could still see that kid at night when he goes home.
They never
what is he, fucking MIB?
Apparently.
Hey, well, if he's MIB, he's fucking failing. There's aliens all over the fucking planet. He is not doing his job right.
He doesn't.
His son is doing his job better for him.
Whatever the fuck his job is, it's ridiculous because let's say he had to have a job. No, he did. None of it makes fucking sense. My uncle was in operational intelligence and technology for the Air Force and was sent to a different country every single year and had 2 kids and a wife and they went with him.
Listen, Bill,
So this guy is fucking garbage. He was fucking Goku. He was like, I got shit to do.
Whoa, buddy. Goku is father of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and apparently so is Tommy. Tommy was a better dad to fucking Justin than Justin's dad was.
Listen,
Justin's dad was like, little bitch, I got a job. You go into the home. And then, later on, he'll get another fucking job, and all of a sudden he wants to be dad of the year, and he's like, I'm not going to go if it means leaving my kid. Why? You already did before?
No.
And if it was so fucking important that you came home, he came home because he had a job that was so fucking great that he had to leave his kid in a fucking orphanage, only to come back to say, no, I got a really good fucking job right here in Angel Grove, only for 4 episodes to go by for him to say, hey, sorry, I got another job. I'm out, bitches.
Technically it was 10 episodes. Cause
right.
This is the 10.
But that still means he got this better job. He didn't even hold it for a fucking month, and then he was like, oh, I got a different job. Better job. This dude is climbing the ladder like a motherfucker. He must suck a mean dick wherever the fuck he works.
No, he's one of those idiots who fails up the corporate ladder.
Wow.
Without his kid.
Hey, anybody got any kids? I do. Are they here with you? No, I left him in a podunk shit town that's always getting blown up by monsters.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you're CEO now. Fucking sweet. What does that mean? That means go the fuck home and we're gonna blame you for all of our problems. So I go see my kid? Yes. Congratulations.
I got a feeling he goes in for a job interview and he asks what the benefits of the job are, and they say, you make $180,000 a year and your kid goes to an orphanage. Great.
Let me ask you this. I watched this entire series. I can't believe it. I never finished fucking Mighty Morphin and Zeo, but I finished Turbo.
Yeah.
Something wrong with me. But, that's because, like I said, every bad series is good when you watch it at work. Because it's better than being at work.
Wow.
I'm telling you right now.
No, he kind of has a point.
Watch it at work, I promise you.
If you have a choice of being at work and doing your job to get paid, or being at work and watching something, regardless of how shitty it is,
it makes it a little bit better.
For it, yeah.
Trust me. But I never seen, I know his dad was gone. Basically, I'm going to tell you this. It doesn't make sense because, like you said, his dad worked overseas, didn't take his kid. That's the only thing I can think of. He never explained that he was in an orphanage or he was living with an aunt or an uncle. He was in an orphanage. He was always hanging out.
In the first movie, there is a bus of kids, and he is associated with those children, right? Because he lives with those children, and he's part of a charity thing that the Rangers are doing.
I wonder if,
to help out the home.
I'm wondering if
he's part of an orphanage.
Well, then after he became a Power Ranger,
he's still part of the orphanage.
Yeah.
It never said he moved in with a Ranger, and if he did, the Rangers fucking bucked his ass.
Yeah, because he would have moved in with Tommy, because him and Tommy were always...
And Tommy's gone.
Yeah.
And so then TJ was like, I'm the new leader. Did I just inherit a kid?
Did I just inherit a kid? No, it seems like the guy that ends up spending an awful lot of time with the kid is Carlos now.
Yeah. So he could have jumped from Tommy to Carlos.
But as far as I know, he was in a home.
But with his dad being back.
Now he's with his dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For 10 episodes.
But next episode, Fire in Your Tank.
Oh yeah, the flame tiger.
Okay.
Diva talks first becomes a whiny little brat wanting the lightning cruiser. I want that car, I want that car. Bitch, shut up.
She wants to fly.
Bill, sir, I don't know why you're
I'm sorry.
now. She's been like that since fucking the movie.
There's a span of episodes here where everything that I was able to see in Divatox slowly gets drained away. They bucked her into that fucking cliche for like a good 10 episodes.
Yeah.
And that's a shame too, because they really had something going with her.
Yeah.
I think she whines more than fucking Rita. And that
No.
is impressive.
Absolutely not. Nope. No way in hell.
Dude, she's...
Go watch one episode.
I know how bad
Watch
Rita fucking
one
whines.
episode of Rita. Almost any episode, and the way she would scream and yell, and I got a headache, and you dunderheads, and like this woman, at least this woman is learning something.
Yep.
She is advancing and moving forward and trying new ideas. Rita's like, fucking send some
Let's remember that this woman whines a lot. Now she does. But she's the only one that ever succeeds.
Yeah, because she was actually forming strategy.
Yeah.
In fact, the one episode that you want to talk about that's like 8 episodes.
Oh yeah, we're
Even this one right here,
There's
this one that you're on, Fire in Your Tank.
Yeah.
She's got monsters training and stuff.
It's one thing. It's one thing to laugh and say she became a baby and she was, because she does. But there's something in the background happening here that starts right here that you really have to stop and think about. At this point on, what does she start doing? Because this is important.
Well, now she's in space.
Right now,
Well, she's been in space.
Yeah, she's been in space.
Right now, she is putting monsters through training.
Yeah.
She's looking for that.
She's trying to advance. She's trying to take the monsters that are bad that she has under her command and make them better and find the ones that stand out and utilize strategies of those monsters. She's formulating her soldiers. The second thing she says, I want Lightning Cruiser. Now, here's a kicker though. She doesn't. Because once they give her something like Lightning Cruiser, that's fine.
Yep.
Now, I want you to stop and really think about this.
Okay.
She started to realize something.
Okay.
Who has the best stuff?
The Rangers.
The Rangers. They have the best stuff, Shane. So, if I was to fight the best stuff, what would I need?
Something better.
I would need better stuff.
You need better stuff,
Or
yeah.
I would need the best stuff.
So you would take
Now, what was the best thing I've done so far? I stole their stuff.
Yeah. Her brother literally...
Which means I've already reverse engineered their stuff.
Yep.
But for some reason, I kind of fell back into my tactics. And then it dawned on me, why don't I just make their stuff? She'll make her own car and own Zords at this point.
Yep, she'll make it...
And slowly develop an arsenal
Yep.
of Ranger stuff.
I will give Divatox...
Even recruiting her own terrible, albeit, but Ranger team.
I will give you credit. I will give Divatox credit where credit is due. When the fucking detonator, when she got super old,
But I think that was her mother's tactic.
When
she'd seen it work, so she was doing it. And it wasn't until she finally said, man, fuck this detonator shit.
when the rain...
Until the last episode.
Yes, but that
Or
worked.
episodes.
Yeah,
But that right there,
worked.
that was a good detonator.
Yeah.
She
And-
said, you know what? I'm tired of this detonator with a timer shit. Give me a button.
Yep.
And you know what? And you know what? You know what? It happened to be one of the best episodes.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, I give Divatox credit because she did evolve. I will give you that. She's like, man, they keep thwarting these detonators.
I
Let's do
think,
something different.
I think she's one of the only villains up to this point. In our history of Rangers so far, she's the only villain I've ever seen move somewhere. She gets better. It's a very slow and arduous fucking process, all in fault of the Ranger series. It's the Ranger series fault in general because they have to have 45 to 50 episodes. They have to follow this format. They have to be like this. And so they only get so many times and so many episodes. Like every 10 episodes, there's about 4 of them that matter.
Yep.
Yeah. You have like one that is like a plot.
And it's
And then you'll have
4 that they develop Divatox. And sadly, this is true. I can't believe I never seen this. they don't develop the Rangers. This entire series has been Diva Talk's series. She's the one that evolves. She's the one that gets better.
Because
she's the one that gets victory.
Because of, reading the behind the scenes and why, Tommy wanted to leave the show. And he was only in 19 episodes and out of 45. Mm-hmm. So bringing in a new Ranger team almost halfway through, there's not a lot of time to develop them. That's why I told you that first episode, when Cassie and them were the team, it just seemed off.
They just jumped it in as if they'd already.
They already
jumped like they'd always been there.
And they just became friends and stuff. Yeah. I'm like, you guys just met. And I'm sorry. When I first met Bill, I wasn't best buddy.
Well, we weren't connected to the morphing grid with 100 friendships that came before us. Because if we'd have been all like, fucking morphin' time the first day we met, the next day we'd meet up like, sup, man?
Sup, man?
And we'd just be like, blah, 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 hanging out. And whoever wasn't around would be like, how come they're friends like all of a sudden? Like, did they just meet yesterday? Be like, yeah, but the guys that were before them and before them and before them were all friends until the day they died, so.
Yeah, so it's.
Yeah, because quite literally I knew Jeremy for how fucking long, and it took until a fist fight up at fucking Pizza Hut for me and him to be like, yep, right till we die, friends.
Now, some notes I got here. During Bulk and Skull's new job, Bulk was reading a Big Bad Beetleborgs comic.
Yeah, he was.
Well, those shows were having at the same time.
Yep.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
which I think is the only reason why I was still watching Turbo.
What really hurt me is the fact that I wasn't here for the first two parts because I really wanted to talk about the Turtles.
Turtles aren't in this.
Huh? They're in the 4th episode. I didn't think they happened.
No, they're not. No, Turtles are in space.
Oh.
Yeah, they're in space.
You haven't missed the Ninja Turtles yet?
No. Guys, I'm a little ahead.
There'll be plenty of Ninja Turtle talking.
Listen, guys, listen. I got ahead of myself. I'm on episode 17 of Space.
Nope.
I'm ahead of myself.
Nope, we're not there yet.
I have been watching. I have got this Power Ranger kit going.
Nope. You gotta kill it. You gotta kill it because you get too far ahead. You won't be able to speak.
I stopped.
Level.
I stopped. But I couldn't help it. This show ended on a cliffhanger, and even though I remember what happens, I was like, I gotta watch it. I was like, I know we're not gonna be.
As soon as it got to be continued the next season with Power Rangers in Space, I said, good.
Yeah.
I'm fucking done with this.
Done.
Oh, trust me.
I'm not coming back to this.
Trust me, guys. Just because I watched that word, it was rough. Right. This is a rough series. Well, I told you, there are good episodes. There are episodes that are really good.
Did you have something else here?
Well, let's see. David Times being a whining bitch about Lightning Cruiser. Episode feel like it should have been a day or two after gaining the Lightning Cruiser because of the way they were talking about, look at how badass this Lightning Cruiser is and stuff.
Like we've had it for weeks. Let's just now figure out what the fuck it is.
Yeah. But, let's see. Bulk reading Big Bad Beetleborgs.
To be fair, Tommy had it before the fucking universe had it.
Actually, that's the weird thing. When I compared them, if you saw the video that I put together, it's like, oh yeah, the shape does seem similar, but there is some differences. So,
which makes you wonder where that car came from.
But
is that the original car?
No,
the one that Tommy was using.
Yeah. Tommy was riding on a car to save Justin
went on the bike. Yeah,
and if you pause it, it looks like Lightning Cruiser, but it's not quite Lightning Cruiser, but it's definitely not the Zord.
Listen.
It's just some random car. He was like, Rangers, I need this.
Listen. Listen. Well, they're not very good creativity here. Like, they just that car looked cool.
I just imagine that Tommy was an awful lot like in Rush Hour 2 or whatever. Maybe it was even Rush Hour 1. I can't remember. But, remember when Carter goes over to the dude on the bike and he's like, NYPD, I need this motorcycle. And he's like, no way, man. He just smacks him in the head and fucking takes the motorcycle. Yep. That's what I imagine Tommy did to get that
off this bike. I need it.
Yeah. He said, Rangers, I need this fucking awesome car.
If he sounded like fucking Chris Tucker, that's plus in my book.
That would be plus.
Yeah. But, Fire Monster.
Tommy Tucker.
The Fire Monster ends up making a forest fire, and...
I'm sorry, this is my... Dude, while Bulk and Skull had, I think, some of the better character development as the series went on, the dumb as fuck never changes.
Dude, they're fucking quite literally, they're like mentally retarded.
Dude, and I think
like something is wrong with them. And I get they're played for comedy. I get it.
I understand.
But our show analyzes this at an adult level and tries to retcon and explain some things. Maybe because Angel Grove is literally so bad. Mm-hmm. And it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Actually, we're gonna get to,
I think the school system system never picked up on the fact that Bulk and Skull have a learning disability.
I honestly think they do.
I know that the school system is bad because once we get to the Halloween episode, I got something major to bring up on that one.
Are you sure it's the Halloween one? Because I got something else to bring up with the high school.
Yeah.
Are we done with fire in our tank? Because this episode sucks a dick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
34. The turn of the wretched wrench.
Why aren't we using Tommy's garage here? Oh wait, it's the high school.
Because it's Tommy's garage.
Yeah, that's Tommy's garage.
It's Tommy's garage.
Tommy ain't there no more.
Okay.
So now we have to take
that's actually a question I've been having throughout this entire series. It's fine that the Rangers turned over their powers and went on with their lives. But for Tommy, going on with his life, doesn't that mean that he's a mechanic / racer / car tester in Angel Grove?
Yep.
And eventually he'll become a paleontologist.
Right, but for right now, if he actually went on with his life, okay, I have a great power, that's fine. But I need to give it up, I need to fucking go on with my life, I need to get my shit together. Here, power for you, I gotta go back to Caterpillar. I gotta work. I gotta go to fucking Komatsu, I gotta go to Caterpillar, I gotta go to fucking,
McDonald's.
Fucking McDonald's, Hardee's, fucking, I got a goddamn job. Okay, I gotta go fucking work. I gotta go work mysterious Justin Dad job.
As much as I love being a Ranger, Zordon don't pay me.
Right. Zordon don't pay me.
If he paid me, I would be a Ranger until I couldn't do it anymore.
That's why we love talking about Rangers. This job don't fucking pay.
I gotta go do something that fucking means something, okay? That's what I gotta do. And it's fine that you could say this, alright? But let us be honest here for a minute.
Okay.
If he went on with his life, the next step of his life would be to focus on the car career.
Yeah, because that's
Justin was up that guy's butthole every single day, and now we never see him. And I realize the actor went away. Okay, that's the reality of behind the scenes. But in terms of the show, could they have not at least had Justin walk into the diner once or twice and say, "Sup, Justin?" Be like, "No, I was fixing some cars with Tommy." "Oh yeah, how's he doing?" "Oh, he's doing great." You could have dropped some kind of background information every now and then. Look, Adam's working a variety show in Angel Grove. Never see him again. Never hear from him again. We're not talking about him. The radio station has an anchor right now who's supposed to be working
you're talking about
on
Tanya?
the air right now. Never hear anything about it. But I will say, Tanya, they gave a slight indication as to what happened to her. There's one episode, real quick, very quick. The people are hanging out and somebody turns on the radio. And the song that's playing is Tanya's pop song from earlier.
Yep.
So it's possible that Tanya, once she was done with Rangers and everything, called that dude and said, "I'm free. Everything I had to do, I've done. I'm now available to do this record thing." Because her song is on the air.
Yep.
You hear it. It's real quick, it's flyby, but when I heard it, I was like, wait a second. And it got about like 10 seconds into the song and I said, "Oh, that's the fucking song from Tanya's music video." So that means that she did move on. They give us some kind of background.
Yeah.
Some of these other characters,
no, once they leave the show,
who
they're
knows
like,
what the fuck happened.
once they leave the show, they're like, bye.
Yeah.
Now, the only person that we can guaranteely count is gone didn't Kat get accepted to that ballet thing, which is, bye, go back to fucking Europe.
Oh yeah, she would be gone.
She's in England, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's legitimate, but some of these other characters,
and Rocky's probably on a corner somewhere.
Some of these other characters live in Angel
Oh,
Grove.
no, you mean he's still stuck on a stretcher somewhere?
No, because in the first episode of Turbo, he was fine.
Yeah, I know he was fine. Doesn't mean there wasn't another tournament and he didn't get stuck on a stretcher again.
But it's true.
Motherfucker keeps
after episode 1, they're like, we don't give a fuck about Rocky. We don't mention him once.
Ever.
Yeah, never again.
He came in episode 1 just to be like, hey guys, remember me?
No.
Because I want to say he said he was doing something. I don't remember what they said, but yeah, they gave him an out as well.
They gave everybody an out.
Yeah.
That guy comes up and he's like, hey guys, what's up? Look, we have children soldiers. We don't need you anymore.
Yeah.
But the monster in this show disguises himself as a taller Seth Green.
Yeah, I saw that. That kid was very much Seth Green.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know I recognize him from something.
Oh, and by the way, the little trope that we're about to give to Ashley, that she's going to be a mechanic now, and she's going to be super mechanic savvy.
Somehow she went from having no knowledge of the stuff to being a grease monkey.
No,
Yes.
she had some knowledge, but she kept doubting herself.
Okay, but here's the
But
thing.
not as much as when it happened.
We talk about how the powers integrate in certain ways, and she doesn't even know why she took the car class. She literally says, why am I here?
Oh no, she knows why she took the class. They make mention of it.
Yeah, they said it's
her,
in her family and
dad
stuff.
gave her a bunch of shit.
But
Girls can't be a
throughout the
mechanic.
course of her life, she was never interested in it until right now. And
Right.
only after she received powers. And we don't know the history of the guys that pass down power to power to power. And we know that Billy got smarter off the powers. We've seen this stuff happen.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe somewhere in the depths of her mind, knowledge has been slowly accumulating that somebody was a mechanic in the past.
It was the fact that her dad said these words. Women should not mess with cars.
And yet, she was not in the car class at the very beginning of this series.
No, she wasn't.
She also said her family were car mechanics too. So.
But she was not in this class at the beginning of the series.
This is kind of a random episode.
This is not something that happens overnight. You don't get shit on your entire life about you can't do this thing, can't do this thing, can't do this thing, can't do this thing, and then randomly one day decide you're gonna do this thing. In the middle of the semester, somehow hop classes to a different class because Daddy said you can't.
Basically,
she would have been in this class before, but something in her mind has made her want to go in this direction all of a sudden.
Basically, for me, I feel like this is a really random episode.
It is, and all they wanted to do was add a character development, and they do. They make her a mechanic.
I'm all for character development if it makes sense.
I think Bulk and Skull's job during this episode would have been great for them.
Yeah, they were tow truckers.
Yeah.
They were driving a tow truck.
This episode is the one that pissed me off.
Why?
Because she goes up to their car, they're sitting there, all sad and shit, and she says, what's up? And they're like,
if we don't get to this job in 10 minutes, we're going to be fired.
So she goes over there and first off, we're going to try to ignore this.
Go ahead.
It's a magic wrench, okay?
Her magical
But when you
wrench.
have this one wrench that is not adjustable, it is just a regular, everyday, single fucking type of wrench. It turns one kind of screw.
Yeah.
Or bolt, rather.
Yeah.
One nut. That's it.
One sized nut.
One sized nut. She can fix fucking anything with that motherfucker.
Hey, listen, we already realized that.
Yes, the science in Power Rangers is very strange. We're just going to leave this magic adjustable solid metal wrench.
Why must you view this plot hole?
Exactly. So, but moving on from that, after she fixes the car, she's like, there you go. And he's like, yeah, except that call came in 20 minutes ago, so we're fired.
No, it was about an hour ago.
Yeah, and what does she do? She laughs in their face. Now, after she starts laughing, the two guys kind of laugh at their own misfortune as well. But listen, just because you're in school and still have daddy and mommy's money to support your life choices, bitch, I need a job. It's not funny that I just fucking lost my job for something that wasn't my fault. It's the company's fucking fault that they didn't take care of their own fucking truck, and I'm stranded on the edge of the fucking road, needing to get where I'm supposed to get, and the company wants me to fix their shit.
The thing about it is, though, is that, like you said, Bulk and Skull get picked on a lot. And I think that's why they're so weird. Because they're weird, they get picked on. And like I said, when we get to the episode, it's the first time that I truly see one of the Rangers giving a shit about them.
Yes. What else you got on this one?
Oh, that's it.
That's it. I mean, magical wrench.
Spirit of the Woods. Dog shit.
The episode starts off like a relaxation meditation video. All these trees and nature.
What do you got to say about it?
Okay, well, I know this is the episode where TJ is in Stone's juice bar.
Yeah.
It's not Ernie's anymore. It's Stone's juice bar.
Yep, that's fine.
And so you're a ranger.
Sure.
You're augmented.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm still tired.
You're in top physical human performance.
I still get tired.
You get tired.
It's 5 a.m.
Okay. I'll give you that. You just because you're augmented don't mean you can't be tired and sleepy.
Okay.
He whines about how early it is, and he needs his fucking juice to fucking run 5 miles.
That's all they got in Angel Grove, man. Yeah. Leave the juice alone.
No, I'm fine, dude. If we lived in Angel Grove, we'd all be hanging out at Stone's
the juice bar
until it becomes, Ernie's detention center.
Then we'd all go to detention.
Yeah.
Like Bulk and Skull.
We're all in our...
Even though they're grown-ups.
Yeah.
Bulk and Skull went to detention.
Yeah, he was in high... They were in...
Which again, that was my point I was going to bring up later when we got to that episode.
It does not fucking matter.
The fucking principal walks up, I thought you two graduated. Sir.
And it's the same principal from Mighty Morphin.
Yes. Well, okay, that's his job. He'll have that job until he's like 65 and retires. That's the way
he'll have that job until they either force his ass out.
If Bill was the principal at Angel Grove High, and I just happened to be there for some reason, and he comes up to me, he's like, Shane, I thought you graduated. Go to detention. I'm like, I'm 29, bitch. Fuck you.
Don't matter. Angel Grove school ethics, your ass goes to detention.
Yeah.
I could send the mayor to detention. Fuck you.
Because
principal, bitch.
And even then it doesn't matter because they're too worried about Vampire Carlos to go, oh, but we already did graduate, we're here for another reason. In which you would have said, oh, go to the office, get fucking hall passes, and then go do whatever the fuck you want.
And then go to detention.
Well, yeah, probably then go to detention. But literally, they walk up and they're like, no buts, no uhs, detention. Because they can't defend themselves because they're too worried about this. And the guy's like, oh, for fuck's sakes, these two idiots again.
I get it.
I could send you to detention. It don't matter how fucking old you are.
Ugh. You think I'm gonna go?
Yeah.
You think I'm gonna go?
At 29 years old, I'll get the fucking hall monitor to
escort you, which literally the principal escorts them directly to detention. Yes.
And Bulk and Skull are the kind of people that won't just like push past him.
No.
Yeah. He grabbed them by the arms and he led them to detention and they were like,
we're 20-something years old.
Well, fuck it.
Yeah.
But I think this is the first time that the spirit of nature has shown up for a Power Ranger.
Oh, what's his name?
I have a question.
I think it's the first time.
I have a question. It is, and I have a very serious question. Does this kid ever come back?
No.
I don't think in this one, but we do see another nature person show up for Wild Force, I think.
Yes, because those are nature rangers, and that was where my problem was. In Wild Force,
but we love Wild Force.
They aren't they mentored by some sort of spirit of nature?
A woman.
She's a woman, yeah.
What happened to this kid? At the end of this episode, did he die? Is that what that was?
He used up his powers to save him when he summoned that lightning.
Yeah.
And it basically wiped him. I mean, his physical being was wiped to a point where he became spiritual.
But towards the end, we see him run by and then transform into a little deer, I think?
Well, it's I thought that was implied that deer is supposed to be him. I had that feeling as well.
I think it is implied because we don't know the extent of this kid's power. Yes, you are the spirit.
He's some sort of deity. That's all we know.
You are a deity of like nature. That's fine. I'm okay with it. And you took the form of a child.
And keep in mind, this is a deity of nature. You understand this?
Yes.
I want you to keep something in mind.
Yeah.
I have met deities. I have met aliens, and I have battled monsters and seen intergalactic AI. And I believe in all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep that in mind.
What's really interesting about this episode, though, is that...
Other than the fact that we're talking for longer than 2 minutes on basically a PSA for Don't litter. It's a fucking do not litter PSA.
Okay, but I will say,
the
very beginning of this episode, when the guys drive up in the car and the leaves blow around and the kid's all creepy and the stuff goes on the windshield saying go away, for a second, I was like, dude, am I watching Are You Afraid of the Dark? Because that would be fucking awesome right now.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh shit, a different show.
That show was going on during this time.
I was like, nope, fuck, I'm watching a bad show.
No, it turns into Supernatural because it's a kid that got run over.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really felt like I was watching Are You Afraid of the Dark all of a sudden.
I just feel like
Although I'm just glad that after we were done, or well, at least after I was done watching this, when I woke up this morning, I was like, fuck, thank God I'm done with this. Oh yeah, right, I got Supernatural to watch, so I'm not watching a good show.
Turbo hurt his fucking back. That's what.
Yeah, that's probably
carrying all the awful on his shoulders.
But I got something here that Diva Talk says that Seth and Shane might figure out. She says, "Bring me this nature boy."
Woo!
Ric Flair.
But yeah, one thing
She said that too, and I was at work, and I'm like, in my mind, I'm sorry. She said, "Bring me the nature boy," and I was like,
I don't think they're going to be able to find the right limousine.
because he's a limousine riding,
jet
flying.
But anyway, also during this episode, we get our favorite image to see, Justin in a trash can.
Bill loved this image so much he had to put it on Facebook, and I had to like it,
dude. I was watching this episode, and it panned across. And everybody's like trapped in garbage cans, like kind of tied up or whatever. And he's sitting in the garbage can and he literally says, "I can't get up." And I was just like, I paused. I took the remote and I paused the episode and I sat there for a second.
I know you did.
And Michelle was sitting down there and so was Gwen. They were all down there and they looked at me and they were like, "What?" And I was like, "Trash can. I can't get up." I was like, "Are you kidding me with this?" And I was like, "I cannot believe," and I was like, you know what? And I took my phone and I was like, and I immediately shared it. And all I did when I shared it to the group page was I put this. Just this.
Yeah.
I'm
sorry. I'm pretty sure everybody. Hold on, let me grab up my phone. I'll find it on Facebook. I was about to say, I'm pretty sure there's like 20-something likes on it already.
And there's all kinds of people.
Maybe a couple of.
Dude, I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, I know.
I see when you put that image up, I smiled. I was like, "That's right. That's right. It's stuck in a trash can." I'm sorry. All the other Rangers have it like by their arms. Yeah. And they're like this. This motherfucker's like, all he has to do is be like, "I can still fight.
I can still fight." Got a garbage can on my ass.
This guy really fucked me up. He put it on my ass.
He put it on my ass.
Which is really weird. There we go. Sentai review. There we are.
The last note I have.
Just this. Oh no, I take that back. There's only 6. Aw, poo.
It's fucking great.
5 thumbs ups and 1 laugh.
But the last note I have is so apparently the 4 separate Zords can use the fire that everything moved from the rescue Megazord.
Yeah.
So it's like, why didn't you guys try that before?
Because
these are the LJN Rangers. The laughing, joking, numb nuts.
It was interesting that only TJ could see him.
I mean, Alpha.
Huh?
Only TJ could see him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because every time, it was really funny when he was over there like, are you okay? And everyone
didn't see him either.
They were looking at the little child
when he was disappearing, when he was fading.
They were looking, okay, but they showed us the point of view from the other Rangers when he was saving the kid.
They couldn't see him.
And they couldn't see him. So I think that they just...
were they staring at them?
I think, they were staring at TJ. Because they show us from they show it from the Rangers' point of view.
Showing us like,
after the net,
go ahead, guys.
After the net got cut down, you could see that TJ's the only guy that can see them. And they know, once again, to bring this up, I believe in spirit forest deities.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I can't see them.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I can't see them. My friend TJ, he believes that's an entity over there in the air. So I believe it. I'm going to stand behind him. I'm going to look at him all tear up and shit.
Listen, man, to be fair,
I believe it.
To be honest with you, dude, I don't blame him. Look at what they've seen in their life.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, look at all the shit they've gone
Are we done with this one?
All right, we're done with this one.
I
What's the
think
next
so.
one?
36. Song of Confusion.
Confusion. Oh, yeah.
To be fair, I actually enjoyed this episode because of the song.
I told Bill.
I enjoyed the first time they played the song with the guy's voice and everything. I was like, this isn't bad.
At the juice bar and when they did the live concert version.
The live concert was pretty
that.
bad.
After that, yeah, they get a little
I told Bill at work, Mike, when you get to this episode, try to get this song out of your head. It ain't gonna happen because they play it throughout the entire episode. It's gonna be stuck in your head.
These are those weird enemy rangers too. Like I was talking about.
This is the band because they each have
Detox has realized something. They have the best stuff.
and each person was color coordinated.
Why?
Because they have the best stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I want the best stuff.
I want the best stuff. I'm going to need it if I'm going to become the actual queen of evil.
Right.
So with my notes, first off, Cassie doesn't sound bad singing with somebody else.
She's not an awful singer. Like that, yeah, when she was on the bus that first time she appeared, I was like, oh my god, shut up.
Oh, yeah.
But then as
Not as bad as Tommy's singing, though.
No, but I will tell you that this
Holy shit.
because we got a little bit of a backstory with her. She likes to sing. She was going to Stone
County? Or something like that?
Stone Canyon?
Canyon? Yeah.
Yeah,
Stone
Big
Canyon.
Canyon.
Stone Canyon. She was going there. You know, she wanted to become a singer, and then she became a Power Ranger, and that stopped. Well, this episode went back to the fact that you guys remember she liked to sing? Well, here's an episode devoted to that one.
They need to do that from time to time to sway in the fact that these characters have some kind of personality.
These characters get better in space. They
Also-
get way more character
We also
development,
get to see
I think.
Emo, Bulk, and Skull during the tryout.
Oh, yeah.
And this brings up another one of my points I was going to say. Wasn't Skull like a master pianist?
Yes, he is, which is why he shows up with a guitar.
Yep.
I thought he had a keyboard
would have worked.
No, he has one of those new age axes that I don't fucking like.
Okay.
That's the only way I can explain it. Basically what this thing is it's a type of guitar, but it doesn't have the headpiece,
right,
and it doesn't have any of the body.
Right.
It's just that one square right here and the neck.
Yep.
Okay.
And I really don't like those guitars.
You're right. If he would have played the piano, they probably would have chose him just for the fact that he could play the piano.
Because it was the previous team that knew about it.
Let us remember that oftentimes Skull makes decisions because those decisions make Bulk happy.
Yep.
And that is his friend, and that's all they've got.
They've only got each other. You know?
So, even though he could play the piano and he would have gotten in like that, Bulk can't.
Bulk can't sing.
So instead, what we see here is maybe Skull decided, well, I think I could learn another instrument, and he can't. But even if it's ridiculous, and even if it makes him feel like an idiot to be up there in front of people playing horribly when he knows he could play better, that's his friend. And if his friend wanted to audition, well, damn it,
to be fair,
I'll do it.
To be fair, Skull could learn. Because the fact is, the piano is really difficult to learn. It takes
but
years.
not in a day.
No, not in a day.
Bulk probably decided that day, dude, we should do it.
He's like, well,
here's a guitar.
I could learn this if I had a few weeks.
And Skull, I'm telling you, that's something about the way these guys' friendships works out. Skull was probably like, if my friend wants to do this, I'll just do it.
No matter how much your friend acts like a jackass, you're behind him 100%, even though it makes you look like a jackass.
Yeah. So I really think this is an interesting, nice, extra piece of character. The fact that we know he knows piano, they don't.
Yeah,
these two kids don't.
It's a new team, so they don't know.
They don't know.
Like Tommy's crew did. So.
But he would have been picked instantly if he'd have walked in there and pianoed the shit out of it. But then Bulk would have got nothing.
But then again, like I said, even if he had a keyboard, it probably would have worked about the same.
But Bulk would have gotten nothing. And he'd rather fail with his friend than succeed without his friend. Yeah. And that says a lot about these characters.
These guys are good friends. They know how to be good friends with each other, even though Bulk is always making
Which we're going to throw right out the motherfucking door in Lost Galaxy. Yep. Everything that we've done for these two guys, we're going to shit all over it because Skull's going to oversleep and they're going to say, fuck him.
Yeah.
And during this, we also have all 5 Rangers have these power swords now.
Yes.
Not just TJ.
Because.
Yep.
And the monsters vanish into thin air, and yet the Rangers can somehow follow them by vanishing.
Because.
Yep.
Yes, I thought that was weird too.
Remember the whole plot hole thing you like to bring up?
Yeah.
Yep, we just ignore it.
Yep. Moving on. Next episode.
Yeah, should we really spend this much time
Apparently.
on a plot hole?
Anyway, next.
The accident. Oops.
Yeah.
Oh, I see blank faces. Are we moving on?
Yep,
No,
this
for
is-
some reason I
this
can't
is-
remember this one.
This is the one where Carlos and his best friend.
Where that guy fucking fakes his fucking injury. No, he got hurt. He tripped on his own
He
feet.
did get hurt, but he fucked himself up.
And then he blamed
But he
Carlos.
blames Carlos because, once again, for anybody who doesn't follow football, aka soccer, if you can't get into dramatic acting and being a real actor, you go become a soccer player because that's all that is. You run down a field, you trip over your own feet, and you for 20 fucking minutes until that motherfucker is
And then this dude is like,
comes up.
dude is like, that slide kick is illegal, and Carlos is like, no, it's not. That's a legal move. Like, know the fucking sport you're playing. That is obviously it is a legal move in soccer that you can slide to get the ball out away from the guy.
As long as you don't
make connection, yes. It is a legal move.
So the real most of those motherfuckers will purposely do like that dude did and trip over
he tripped over his own feet and
to make you think
not everybody, but
and they were battling over position. And I'll tell you this is one of those things that comes down to giving us a little more character with our people.
Right.
What do we know about Carlos? Carlos is a bit of a hothead. He loves to take the front and he loves to be acknowledged for it.
And he loves soccer.
He used to. Then he became a Green Ranger, and then now he's
it's still there. It's still there.
The competitiveness is there.
It's just muted.
But the reason that he is not being chosen, both of them have one major problem.
They even said it.
Carlos might be a bit of a team player, but he doesn't show up to practice that much, and he's still kind of a showboat.
Yeah.
The other guy,
which we saw, because when this game was going on and everybody else was just playing soccer, he had to break out the moves in a practice game.
And the other guy, while he's there all the time, he works hard, he's not much of a team player.
Yes, sir.
Well, you keep noticing the fact that your HDMI cable's going out so the TV keeps flickering?
Oh, that's what I was wondering that just happened.
Oh, that actually happened to me. The other night, I had to actually switch out because mine went bad.
This is an old cord, to be fair. I wasn't worried about it because this TV often has problems, but I fixed it.
Yeah, you smacked it.
I did.
It's doing it again.
But,
that's the cord, though.
We see a evil Zord, not one of the ones later on, but we see.
Is it the
horn one? The horn one. The horn purple one that we saw in the Robos.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is exactly that started all the way back up here with Fire in Your Tank. Rangers have the best stuff. She's now making Zord.
And this Zord almost finishes the Blue Centurion's robe, along with the Rescue Megazord. Almost finishes them.
Yep. And if you stop and think about that,
but
there's a reason.
A giant metal clothespin, so
yes. But there is a legitimate reason for why she would be able to do this. One, we already know that these guys are not necessarily experienced Rangers. They're getting better all the time.
They are getting better.
But let us also look at the fact that what has she already done? She already reverse engineered a Zord.
Yep.
And she reverse engineered one of the most broken Zords we have ever fucking seen.
I'm going to tell you something.
Yep.
She can make something great, and she did.
I like the end of this episode, and the reason why I like the end of this episode is when Elgar goes back and she's like, "You had the Rangers. Why didn't you destroy them?" And he's like, "The arm fell off. Not my fault."
No, I respect one of the things that she said
back
there.
up.
I respect something she said there. She said, "Then you kick."
Yeah,
You do
anything else.
You do whatever you can do.
Them.
Yeah, you finished them.
Hey, got another arm? Pick the sword up.
She's very much like the unit leader 81 that rips off his own arm to fight the Zaku.
You know what I'm going to tell you?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you something right now, dude. This is me.
But then again, we can also say that that's a load of bullshit because then later on when she was given faulty technology and spun around to the point of I'm going to be sick, she ran away.
Yep. I'm going to tell you something right now, though.
But I guess it's hard to fight when your Zord doesn't work. His arm just fell off. He still had legs and another arm.
I'm gonna tell you something. I would have done this if she would have told me, oh, then use the other arm. You know what I'd have done? I'd have looked at her. My Zord's not ambidextrous and walked away. Can't use a sword left-handed. This ain't Link.
And at the same time,
Stomp, boot party that fucking Zord.
Curb stomp.
Curb stomp the shit. You had him.
Yeah. And at the same time, her bitch ass isn't in the fucking Zord. He is.
Yeah.
Once she gets in the Zord, she realizes, oh fuck, this is life or death, and I can't see, I can't move, I'm fucking gonna die. I'm glad there's not a guy behind me who's having a fucking seizure.
Now what is that though? You know what's really cool about that? Learning. Learning. Shit, right now she's looking at it from the perspective of, I told you to do this, go do it.
Yep.
Now, after this, when she goes down there and does it herself and realizes how bogus it is, she's like, maybe these motherfuckers should work the next time we go down there.
Yeah.
And, sure enough, they made the motherfuckers work.
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't go back down with another fucking robo until, I love
that Divatox learns. We've never seen this. They always do the same shit. They're always like, send down the putties.
On this case, don't think it gets rinsed and repeated. Send the torpedoes!
All the time. And that's Power Rangers' fault.
Yeah.
That's the fault of Power Rangers in general. There has to be a big mecha fight. Every time. There has to be.
Yeah. I think the only time she doesn't do is when it's like, oh, well, you know what to do.
Yeah, and even she kind of that's the writers taking a stab at the fact that the formula was holding them back.
Yeah.
Because they were trying things here that they just weren't allowed to do. These characters are developing, you just have to look for it.
Yeah.
But sadly they're tagged down to this fucking formula that says you have to lose, they have to grow, you have to you have to send down Piranatrons. This is the formula. Kids do something. Bad guy sees something, bad guy makes plan, monster attacks kids with Piranatrons, kids beat off Piranatrons, monster then fights Rangers, after monster fights Rangers, monster will grow, Rangers get robot kills monster, bad guy complains.
Right, bad guy complains, wrap up episode in a pretty bow for next time.
And do the same thing tomorrow.
Yep.
And that holds these writers back.
Unless cliffhanger, in which case, just give something quick and simple so that way then we can keep doing what we were doing.
And I loved that part in that episode where she was like, Sid, you know what? You know what to do.
Yeah.
And I love that they did that because that was the writers literally taking a shot at the network saying, you see how fucking repetitive this is?
Yep.
Our bad guy doesn't even want to say this shit anymore.
Yep.
Sorry about that. What episode are we on?
So that's something that's very interesting about this, is even the writers kind of shot at Saban about this.
Plus, not to mention the fact that so far the only episode I can think of where the monsters don't, they don't have to worry about the monsters growing is, let's see, when the robos come down, for one. And then two, the other fun thing is, when we get to the very end, because that dude already starts off as a giant.
Yeah.
Anyway, the next one?
This dude was broken.
Fuck yeah.
Okay, Cassie's best friend.
Bestiality of the episode?
Something like that.
Do we even have to talk about this? Her dog becomes a human.
Oh, I want to bring up a few things on this. I want to bring up a few things. First, when I hear her say the dog's name, I don't hear what it's actually called. I hear her call him Justin. I don't know why, but I hear him call him Justin. It's like, okay, so the dog's doing a better job than your actual Justin. But no, his name is actually Jetson.
Yeah.
But, the dog, when he gets changed, turns into a blonde naked guy. So I guess Dr. Frankenfurter would be pleased.
Yeah, he is a blonde naked guy.
Yeah.
Well, considering the fact that he's a dog, it's not like he's wearing fucking clothes.
He's a naked dog.
But still,
which then becomes even more fun because then when he goes from being human to dog,
he goes back to just being a naked dog somehow.
Yeah, doesn't that mean he'd have to hide in the bush somewhere and just hang out and be naked until he reverts?
Cassie's best friend. This episode sucks.
Yeah, dude, it does.
This is a terrible episode.
Like I said while you were out of the room talking with your old lady, this is bestiality of the episode. Yep. Moving along.
Yep, moving along. I hated this episode.
The only other thing I have is, when Elgar's Robo thing gets hit with a toothpaste scoop, he's ready for a trip to Egypt because he's on a camel.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I kind of didn't get how that one happened. I don't know why it would revert to a busted ass moped. But
because we are on the curveball.
This is an episode where baseball episode. Let me break it down real quick. This is where TJ.
Let me break it down. Japan loves baseball.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
That's actually what this is about.
Yeah,
almost you'll notice this in a lot of things. Like One Piece has a baseball episode.
Yeah.
Like a series. I think it's actually one of the movies.
Yeah, Japan loves baseball as much as Americans love baseball.
Yep, and Samurai Shampoo.
They love it more.
Is it Samurai Shampoo or what? Shampoo? How do you
Shampoo.
They have a baseball episode.
Yeah.
And this has baseball episode. In fact, I think this is not the first time we've seen a baseball episode.
No, we've had others, but this one, the monster's a baseball monster. He's a pitching one. He throws a wicked curveball, which TJ has problems hitting because this new guy came. Can't hit his curveball. Well, he saves this dude's life because this dude's an idiot and wants to race him, and they're on a cliff. Don't race on a cliff, kids. And he almost.
Don't worry, this is only the third time somebody's almost died going over a fucking cliff.
So TJ saves him
just in this series.
To make up for the fact that TJ saved this guy, he taught him how to hit a curveball. Now he can hit a curveball. Moving on. What's the next episode?
Oh, and hold on, one thing. Spin out. Broken. Dude, that was, I was like,
so many balls getting bounced off the spin.
That dude was like, throwing, and they were like, just fucking spun out and hit all of them.
For a second there, I thought I was actually watching a live action Mega Man, where it was going up against either a Knuckle Joe or a fucking, God, what are they called? The fucking idiots with the helmets.
Well, here's a question that'll never be answered. They did that spin out. That dude threw 6 balls. They got hit.
Where'd they go?
They
went to spin.
Did they hit other buildings? Did they fly up? Did they shoot the ground?
Some of them went back to hit the monster.
I'm gonna promise you, when TJ hit that dude's curveball, it went to space.
Yeah.
So, look, and he's this big compared to, he's this big. Yeah. So those fucking things went to another, man, I'm telling you right now, fucking Astronomer and them are like, what the fuck is that? Is that baseball?
Yeah.
They're getting hit so fucking far behind, I hit Dark Spectre in the head.
Carlos and the Count.
Yes, this is the episode.
Now we're in Halloween.
This is the episode where Carlos gets turned into a vampire.
And we've already touched on most of the major plot points here. Moving on.
It's not a good episode.
Shane?
Oh, no. There is one major thing that I want to bring up.
Go ahead.
The Rescue Megazord and the Turbo Megazord combine.
Yeah, that happened here.
It was his late season.
It took this lunar vampire.
Yeah.
A Halloween episode. Yeah. For them to combine the Zords.
Okay, so here's something.
Motherfucking vampire.
Why?
Don't worry, it never happens again, so don't view the plot hole. Moving on.
Here's something that legitimately
Think it
bothers
does it one more time.
No.
Because sworn it did it again.
This is something that legitimately bothers me.
What?
I believe in spirit deities.
Yes.
I fight monsters every day.
Yes.
I believe in AI, sentient robots that
Yes.
are on intergalactic conquest.
Yes.
I have no problem believing in all supernatural aspects that I see on an everyday basis.
Yes.
Carlos got hit by a vampire.
Impossible.
You kids in your movies.
Vampires aren't real. Said by a ranger.
Vampires aren't real. You know that we're fighting aliens, right?
Every day, and monsters, and things like vampires.
God damn.
Don't worry, Bill dropped it. He should fix it.
No, that's fine.
Either way, we should be moving on because I know your ass is trying to run away.
The next episode is called Little Strong Man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this is the episode where fucking
another track and field episode.
Where Justin wants to be part of the...
You're given a choice. You could be Spider-Man or Power Ranger.
Technically Ant-Man, but yes.
Spider-Man.
To be fair, he didn't get ant powers. He did. He got strength, but I mean that's what I mean. We have no if he'd have climbed a wall, I'd have been interested. Oh, and by the way,
we get introduced to the 3 evil Zords.
No, I would like to bring something up before we look.
Justin's still a little kid.
Justin got bit by an ant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
An ant This was not Divatox doing.
Nope.
Nor was it any other sentient bad guy evil.
No,
It was kind of Bulk and Skull. And the ant.
But remember, Justin's as strong as of an ant. If an ant was this big.
No.
Fuck with
This.
Like, really though, there was an ant that just bit him. He received Spider-Man gift.
Yeah. Plot hole. We don't
So
focus
this
on
means that if the ants in that building were affected,
Yes.
or it was just that one ant,
Don't know how it's that one ant when there was multiple ants on the counter.
Listen, Angel Grove is full of ants that can give you superpowers, okay?
and that means there's a whole flock of people out there right now
Yes, they're superpowers.
with super Spider-Man powers.
Yes. And you know what? We don't explain it because it's a plot hole and we just have fun with it.
I got another plot hole for you.
What's that?
First off, how old is Justin?
I figured it out only, I'm gonna give you this right now. I figured it out by how old he is now. This show came out 21 years ago.
Okay.
He's 12.
So Justin, who's a 12-year-old child,
Yes.
kid,
Yeah.
is trying out for high school track.
Yeah,
Yes.
because he's in
high school.
He's in high school.
He's enrolled in high school.
He's a fucking kid!
But because he is Blue Ranger Justin, super genius,
and
he's
you can't,
in high school.
and the high school
So the
cannot tell
high school cannot tell him, hey, if you're going to our school, you cannot try out for any of our extracurriculars.
He is a student. It's just like Azumangadayo. There's that little girl that gets skipped up in grades, and she's on their athletic
they're
team.
not allowed to tell you that you can't be part
Now
of that.
here's the
because you're a
thing.
kid.
Here's the thing. They show us Justin's powers works differently than the other Rangers. We have received countless times that Justin is augmented with super strength,
In fact,
but in this, he has trouble throwing even the heavy ball.
Yeah. He can't throw a shot put. He
Why?
fucks up with the
maybe it's
javelin.
honestly because he's not a fully developed person.
I have an exact reason why.
What was that?
Every single time we have seen Justin use his augmented powers, it's been under a moment of stress.
Yep.
Against the Piranhatrons and stuff.
When he's under attack, when he's worried, when he's scared, the augments kick in. If I'm to believe that he really is so weak as a 12-year-old that he can't fucking do all this track stuff,
Right. I think
then he can't fight the Piranhatrons. But he does.
Yeah.
And that means that the augments are only kicking in during moments of stress, meaning he is augmented, but because of his age, the powers are working differently and they're only accessing at certain points. Moments of tension. Not a big thing, but it's interesting to see that the powers work differently in different ways. Such as if the power goes to a kid, the augments are definitely working differently. And there are certain monstrous properties, like we said, why doesn't Goldar say, Tyrannosaurus? That's why. Because when he was infected with ant superpowers, and he said, Turbo, it said, no, don't do that shit.
But Carlos got bit by it and became a vampire and he can morph. Oh, that's really cool.
Nope, they cured him.
Yeah.
It was a temporary cure, but remember,
he was cured.
but he was starting to come back.
But he was cured and he was morphed before he started reverting.
Yep.
And his powers could have been slowly digressing inside as he was turning into a vampire.
It could.
Yep.
Now, this is where Divatox comes down with a winged bird Zord and starts twirling and using her lunch.
And this leads us to one thing. And now that she's experienced it for herself, she's like, maybe this shit should work before we do it.
Right.
Yeah.
And once again, our villain learns, and the next time they bring these things fucking down here,
She puts another dude in it. She puts that, what's his name?
she does,
Portal.
but they work.
Portal, the tech guy.
Yeah, but
Portal
they-
goes in the
But they
shark
work.
guy.
This
Which is
time
the
she
next
actually,
up.
but this time she gave it the development
blue
time.
guy. The guy with the big weird...
No. He
Yeah, he doesn't show up until...
Well, we only got 4 episodes left.
Yeah, next up is the shark, which is the fucking dude stuck
Okay,
in the diving suit.
you're talking...
Yeah.
Okay.
Each time that after she rushes it, doesn't work, she loses a great opportunity at destroying the Rangers. The next time she goes down herself because he fucked up. Then she figures out it wasn't just him, it really was mechanical error.
Yeah.
The third time she says, make it right.
Right.
Yeah.
And just to be sure it's right, you're the guy that knows about it, you're going down there.
Yeah.
She is learning.
The next step, are we done with this episode?
Yeah.
The next episode is the Rival Rangers. This is where Ashley and Cassie fall for the same guy.
Yep.
And
I hated this.
This episode sucked.
I hated this. Like, legitimate fucking hate.
It went a different direction than when I thought it was going to go.
I thought they were actually going to have a fight.
They're fake friends.
Yeah.
They're fake friends. This episode made me disbelieve their friendship. Because the second a penis came between them, they were against each other. And then, the second the penis was withdrew from in between them, then they were like, you're my best friend, until another penis comes along. The fact that they could be torn apart so fucking easily over something like a high school dance, which does happen to kids.
And I'm telling you this, what happened to me with my other friend.
This is this is a true to life thing, but it does put a wedge in between their friendship and make me acknowledge that they're just as flawed as any other person on the planet that is a teenager.
And I'm telling you,
they're still learning how to be people, let alone deal with that kind of friendship.
And this is exactly what I was telling you about earlier. That episode that just threw them together. They had no character development before then.
Yes.
So they are not friends. Now I can believe her and Carlos are friends because they hung out, and I can actually believe TJ and Cassie are friends.
They're best friends by association.
Yes.
And as soon as something came up that they both wanted, all of a sudden cards were off the table.
Yep. And then they started playing
It
jokes.
was game time, motherfucker.
And they were playing pranks on each other and saying mean things about each other.
And they were trying to ruin each other in different ways just to get that penis.
Yep.
All right, now for my notes. First off, during the battle of the Shark Zord, evil Shark Zord, the Rescue Megazord, actually their Megazords in general, start losing power. Even after they got out of the water, it's like, we're still losing power.
They could be wet.
Yeah.
No, but they went into the Turbo Megazord and we're like, we're still losing power.
Was there some sort of drain or something? There was something going on.
Yeah.
But
Trust me, this episode was not very good.
No, there was some sort of drain. There was something weird going on because isn't this the same episode where all of a sudden, like, he says something about the units giving off energy and they reverse the same trick and take the energy back?
I think so.
no, but
Or is that the next one where all three of them come down?
That's the next one.
Regardless, that has to be something that's going on because later they utilize the same trick to get energy back in the next episode.
Well, the next episode is one of the more
I was going to say I'm not done with my notes yet.
Go ahead.
But
I'll make them quick because Shane's like 20 minutes late to get the fuck out of here to go do other shit.
He can go whenever he wants, to be fair.
The new guy, Bobby's date, wasn't who I was expecting. I was expecting him to go with his little sister.
Oh,
yeah, I kind of had the same thought.
Yeah.
What?
Since his little sister was
the penis that the two girls are fighting over, he has a younger sister.
That was in
so we were all
Ashley's dance
thinking
classes.
that like he was going to be kind and take his younger sister because he's one of those goody upstart fucking teenagers that nobody knows about.
Oh, but no, he chooses the random girl that had literally 3 seconds of screen time.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
That's what I picked.
the last thing I got is, wow, Justin takes both Ashley and Cassie to the dance.
And we never get to see anything about that.
Yeah, thank God.
We never get to see how innocent or strange that was.
Reason why he's the best Blue Ranger. He got 2 chicks. What did Billy get? Okay.
about Rocky?
He got old. Rocky got a broken back. Okay, so
Rocky learned one of the coolest kicks in history.
Yep.
if only he could have stuck the landing.
Well, look, it took Ryu many years to get the helicopter effect down.
The next episode is actually the one I was talking about, Parts and Parcels.
Where Bulk, Skull, and TJ try to track down a package thieves.
This is the episode where Bulk and Skull are being accused of stealing and will go to jail.
And I only have one thing to talk about at this, and it's actually the very end. It's not the beginning where TJ helps them.
So TJ looks at him, and he's saying, you know what, this is the one time where, yes, they made fun of Bulk and Skull, but he's like, you know, Bulk and Skull are not bad guys. They don't deserve this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna help them.
And he even says it out loud. He goes, you know, Bulk and Skull, they may be idiots, but they're not thieves.
No. Now, what you just said, when did they make fun of him?
Well, not really make fun of them, but like...
See, now hold on.
Huh?
That's important. Why is that important? At the end of this episode, Bulk and Skull believe themselves to be nothing more than the outcasts that they always were.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And they go over, and against their better judgment, because they've been hounded their entire lives by 5 goody teenagers, which were dickheads.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They were shit on and bullied their entire lives by 5 perfect teenagers. And then, for the first time ever, one of these kids comes forward and helps them out. Mm-hmm. And at the end, now they've been helped out by the other dickhead teenagers before, but...
Not quite to this level.
Well, no, they had, but here's the thing. At the end of it, there was one thing that came up. He said, TJ's not a bad guy. Tell him he's not a bad guy. And she says, it's funny. He says the same thing about you. And there's a moment for Bulk and Skull there when they realize these are not the same kids they grew up with.
No.
They're not being shit on. Life is
Bulk,
just kind of shitty.
Yeah, because literally she says it to Bulk, and Bulk even starts to get a little misty-eyed.
Yes.
And literally turns and gives him a big-ass bear hug. Mm-hmm. And
he
just fucking sits there like, oh fuck.
He has never had that where these people are accepting these two guys because of who they are, and they see that good nature. These kids have not teased Bulk and Skull that I can remember. They have not been the bullies that I can think of even one time, the actual aggressors. Mm-hmm. They don't throw milkshakes on them or give them shit.
Other than the one time they point and laugh at them because, we just got fired because we're an hour late to get back to work.
Or tell them sidekick, fat ass.
Yeah.
There's a controller for all three of the evil Zords now.
Yep.
A weird-ass controller, but...
You've never played with the fucking NES fucking third-party LJN fucking attachment?
Shit, that motherfucker was the predecessor to that there battle game on the Xbox, fucking Steel Battalion.
Uh-huh. The thieves were the Piranatrons gathering the pieces to help build these swords along with the controller. Mm-hmm. And, the Blue Centurion is still cleaning up the Shark Zord from the previous episode. How many days have passed?
Well, to be fair, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Those things are taller than buildings. So if one was actually left in the city and we had to dismantle it, it would take months.
Well, he was still dragging it after it got defeated. So it's if you're dragging that in the Zord, you should still be dragging it a day later.
Cleanup could take months.
We don't know the extent of the damage.
That's not a joke. If you knock a parking garage down here in Peoria, it takes about a month to clean it.
Yeah.
If you knock down a Zord that's taller than a skyscraper, it could take months.
But this is another case of where the evil Zords almost destroy the Rangers.
But this is exactly what I was talking about, is whatever that trick is that they were using that was sapping strength, they somehow reversed it and took those Zord strengths.
Yep. Okay, now onto the Chase into Space, Part 1 and 2.
Yeah, Part 1 and 2. This is the last two episodes of Turbo.
Holy shit, this was good.
This is the best story arc.
And this is something that I haven't brought it up. I've been avoiding it the entire time. We've watched Divatox fail over and over and over and over and over, but we've watched her learn. Mm-hmm. Now, what's one piece of information that she has never been privy to?
She doesn't know where they're at.
She doesn't know where they're at. Mm-hmm. That is so fucking important because unlike other villains that we've seen in the history, here's why I respect Divatox. Hate her all you want, okay? We've watched Divatox attack the Rangers directly. We've watched Divatox take command and actually pilot a broken Zord, attempting to win. We've seen her fly around in the car and attempt to kill the Red Rangers single-handedly. And here, all the fucking times that this could have been over from the very beginning, when Lord Zed very first came here and said, "You are defeated by children," he could have said, "Fuck on this!" And he could have lightning bolted down there to their little fucking four-wheelers and said, "Zap, zap, zap," and killed all fucking 5 of them.
Well, to be fair, the difference is, though, is that while she was in the submarine for most of the series, Zed and Rita were on the moon, looking down.
Right where the motherfuckers were.
In fact, she saw them, the first episode, when they're walking in the desert, because they're like, fuck being a Power Ranger. And she's like, what's this? All she can do is go like, oh, there it is.
They always knew where the command center was, and what did they do? They did nothing. They did nothing. It is their fucking fault. Divatox is throwing a celebration over the fact that she just summoned the Big Tits monster.
Big Tits monster.
Old Goyle is the monster that shows up.
Yep. That dude is awesome.
He shows up as the giant that actually destroys the 2 Megazords.
You know why he's awesome, though? Not just that he destroys them, but it allowed the Rangers to show off a bit.
Yep.
The Rangers, get outmatched, and they say, hug the motherfucker and blow up.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
But it doesn't work.
It doesn't work. But that is so cool that the Rangers, these kids are different. These kids are soldiers.
And they're different because they're also desperate.
Also, but they have been getting better.
Yeah.
Pay attention to the second when they say, look, this big Zord is nothing but firepower. Blow it up and go to the broken thing. They go to the broken thing, they immediately go for the spin out when they realize the first one didn't work. And he shoots, and they jump it. And turn into a psycho crusher and go through him.
Yep.
Dude.
And he still laughs at him.
He gets damaged hardcore and he goes, huh.
He did, but dude, I cheered when I saw that moment. I was like, holy shit!
Because in the entire series, that spin out from the Turbo Megazord never jumped. But this guy's hardcore.
And they couldn't take that
We blew up our Turbo Rescue Megazord. It didn't scratch him. So now we're going to have to get broken. He fires at us. This has happened before.
Yes.
They got fired at
and they just went through it.
So they're like, you know what, this guy's a lot stronger than that guy. Push the button, Justin. Pop it.
This is experience.
And
this is the difference between knowledge and experience. These kids have been here now.
They destroy the monster while throwing the turbo ram charger. I think that's the name of it.
The ram charger,
into the monster's mouth,
and it explodes from the inside.
Because there's got to be a weak point.
And
you might as well be the inside.
Can't get through the armor.
Your insides are a weak point.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, if I can't blow you up, I'm gonna blow up your squishy fucking parts.
Let me put it to you this way. You're in a full bomb-proofed fucking suit. Like the exact same suit that the military and fucking bomb disposal uses to go clean up pipe bombs. Like, you know, let's just say real world, and sorry to offend anybody, but you're down in Texas where that one jackass was blowing up pipe bombs all over fucking Texas, right? Okay. They put you in a giant fucking suit where if the pipe bomb goes off in your face, it hurts. You get a little bit of dust in your face. Oh well. If I take a gun, just a regular fucking 9mm pistol, and I shoot at you in this bomb suit, it ain't gonna do shit. If I walk up and I put the fucking gun in your nose or right in your mouth,
yeah, you squishy part.
What I liked is also that these kids, they did something that was surprising. And when they blew through him with the spin out, they thought it was over.
Yeah, they did.
They didn't expect him to turn around and blast them. So they got taken by surprise. Yeah. But I love the fact that they reacted the way they did. And then...
But while this stuff is happening, and even when Divatox was on the moon with the monster, Eltar is under attack.
Okay, this is a huge plot hole. And all I'm going to say again is robots are stupid. Because they're supposed to have 5 robot Turbo Rangers on Eltar. Where are they? Where the fuck are they?
That's if they're still on Eltar.
They have to be. That's where they went.
And to be fair, if they were really in dire stray, they could have just called the Aquatar Rangers.
Or they could have turned on those robots.
Yep.
Those robots can more.
Or they could have been like, hey, Andros! You're flying around there on your little surfboard?
That's why we're just going to leave that alone, but
the only theory I have is that's what causes some of the evil Rangers later on.
Demetria and the Blue Centurion, who is the only active Zord, goes with Demetria to Eltar.
Yep.
Yes.
Now, this is also interesting because...
Which brings us to our next point.
At the end of the episode...
Demetria, when do we attack? Oh shit, they're leaving. Huh. When do we attack?
Dude, yeah,
Zarbon give the order. Midoriya give the order.
Yeah, but look, this is so important. Everybody shits on Divatox, and she deserves it, but she doesn't. Look, really think about this. What happened when Master Vile, put this in quotations, won? He had a fucking party. He had a fucking party, and he even invited the Rangers to come to his fucking I beat your ass party. Dun 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 dun. Hey, dun 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 dun. Yo,
and Rita was doing it too.
Exactly. Yep. Now stop and think about this. Divatox won something. The Megazords are down. She knows it's a matter of time before she wins.
Problem.
She's fucking partying. When Elgar comes back and says, "Hey, I found the power center," and she says, "Party's fucking over."
Yep.
Yeah.
Party's bringing the war to them.
And then when they bring the war, this is the interesting part. When they bring the war to them, when they see the Blue Centurion and Demetria leave, she's like, get them.
Yeah.
Because, and this is the interesting
She
part.
seized that moment, and she was going to do it. She was going to do it regardless.
She was going to do it regardless.
But then she saw those two things fly to the sky, and she knew, make a joke here, she knew that those two guys just left with a bunch of cheese sandwiches, and they're going to be gone for at least 40 days. This is my opportunity. Because they can't turn around.
And when they attacked the command center, and the only time in the series that detonators worked, when they blew up, when Elgar came back and she's like, were they inside? He's like,
I want bodies. I want fucking solid confirmation that dead people are dead.
Yep.
That is important. She is so much better as a villain than what we have seen, but she's in such a crappy series.
It's this. When he could not identify the bodies, she's like, we're not done. We're not partying.
Yeah.
Get to the rubble and find me bodies.
I love that she didn't go straight to the dance and then Happy Days.
And then some weird fucking heads
The messenger from Submarine.
was like,
Zordon has been captured.
Submarina or whatever.
And then she's like, okay, great. Now this is my planet.
Zordon has been captured. Well, congratulations. I just captured the Earth. I'm not going anywhere.
Because I need to find these fucking bodies of Power Rangers before I know my job is done.
And she was like, Dark Spectre wants you. And she's like,
she had won. Had Dark Spectre not fucking come around the corner with you, hey bitch,
get back here.
She won. Because
they lost their powers.
The Rangers were in a form of shutdown stasis.
Yep.
Their powers were dissolving by the second. The suits were still there. They took the blunt of the explosion. The helmets were ripped off. The suits were torn to shit, and they were living off the residuals of that power.
Yeah, after everybody leaves and everybody comes out, suits go bye-bye.
Yeah, and she wasn't gonna leave. She would have stayed there until the fucking sun
and their powers would have evaporated.
And she would have found them. She would have found them because there would have been giant gleams of red and blue and yellow. And she said, what is that? Kill children.
Yep.
Kill children.
Start throwing bombs.
With Divatox and her forces off the planet now, the Rangers are at a loss. They, we have no powers. What do we do? And they're like, we need to go after Zordon. We need to follow him.
No. At first they were like, we have to make sure Divatox doesn't come back.
Yeah, there
was an argument. There was an argument between which is important. It's important. These Rangers, no Rangers to this point, but these Rangers specifically have never been without somebody telling them what to do. They've never been without the commanding officer that says, go do this now because I say go do this.
Yeah.
They have never had to make a decision. Now the decision comes down on them, and there's a problem here. I said this before. TJ is not a good leader.
Yeah.
He's a cool leader. And that's a problem. And the other Rangers know that. Because they know that he just says, we're going to do this thing. And if he fucking falls, they're falling with him. Yep. So you just got to get lucky to think that he always made the right choice. Well, at this moment, when TJ is now the leader, the single leader, they don't agree with him.
Yeah.
Because when he makes a decision, they're like, we've seen how your decisions turn out. Now there's nobody to back you up.
Which is why, like I said, there's 3 points to bring up here. The first, Carlos immediately reverts back to old ways. Fuck this. Divatox needs to die now. I'm done with this.
Yeah.
First fucking smart thing to come out of
He's going for the goal.
Yeah.
He's going for the goal.
Out. Second, we've said for years, they're augmented due to the powers. They no longer have any powers. How the fuck does Justin get on top of a fucking skyway to fucking Metal Gear Solid Snake his ass into this fucking science center? The fucking NASA,
NASDAR.
Because it's NASA with like 8 other letters behind it because it's not really NASA.
NASA.
Yeah.
Well, I thought he just kind of went in, because you see him at the checkout station, or the check station.
He sneaks alongside the car,
which I get.
Which, there's a reason I believe that, because if you've ever been in a store like I have, and you turn around to look at a cool shirt, and then you turn back around and your kid is gone, that literally happens.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because Gwen scared the shit out of me one day when I was in Walmart, and all I did was I stopped. She was right here at my leg. I took a coat off the rack and turned back around, and she was gone because she had seen that she can get into the racks, and she went into the middle of the racks and was hiding, and it was fun.
Yep.
And children are just small enough and inconspicuous enough to lose easily. Walmart. Yeah, that is frightening.
Yeah.
And it's believable that kid, because the soldier, it's an unassuming, stupid-ass child. Was the soldier intelligent? Yeah, he was like, no, you're not fucking getting in here. Then he turned around to do his job and the kid vanished. Mm-hmm. And he did call it in because the other soldiers in the base are definitely looking for the kid, but I believe that he could lose that child.
Yeah. Well, like I said, then all of a sudden, here's another outpost where cars are pulling up and scientists in white coats are getting out to go inside. All of a sudden, the only thing I can assume is he climbed a fucking tree and jumped up on there because he has no power.
He has no powers. Augmented. Right. It's one of those things.
All of a sudden, he's just up there and it's like,
He could have went through the building. I don't know how he would have, and they didn't show it to us for a reason.
Right. But that's what I mean. Like, literally, they're all still outside. Cameras are outside. Cars are parked underneath of this
I also like how their clothes are all screwed up.
He's on top of the awning. I'm like,
yeah.
You could tell that not all of that energy in the explosion was absorbed by the costume because they're fucked up.
And now, part number 3, I need to talk to the general.
Oh.
Yeah, go up, kid. But it's about the Power Rangers. Hold on.
Yeah, what?
What's this about the Power Rangers?
And you
need a shuttle. Shut up, you two motherfuckers. And he leans in and Justin goes,
and
he stands up. Eltar! I was like,
yeah,
who the fuck
because
is you to know?
From what I understand and what I've...
What did I miss in that 15 episodes?
I don't think it's actually...
What exactly did he whisper in his ear?
I don't think it's explained until space, but Zordon was giving them the technology for spacefaring.
Which is what that power converter thing that they grabbed from the rubble
yes.
was.
Yeah.
So what was going on was Eltar was in communication with Nasada in case something ever came up.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was a couple of guys in the top brass.
But apparently only one of them was here at the time. So.
Which makes sense though. Because you don't have 800 guys walking around with the nuclear codes.
Right.
You have like 2.
Yeah.
The nuclear arsenal is in the codes are in the football.
Yep. And there's only...
No, that's what it's called.
That's what it's called. The president flies on Air Force One. The president is accompanied by 5 people guaranteed. He gets a chef. He gets a dude to do his hair. He has 2 guards, which 2 guards contain, one holds one key, the other guy holds another key, and a 4th guy holds a briefcase referred to as the football, which
and he
is
doesn't hold it
handcuffed to his wrist.
And no, he cannot uncuff it.
Yeah.
On his own. It has to be uncuffed by a separate person.
Yeah.
That way
cuffed to another guy.
That way he literally cannot let it go.
Normal handcuffs. I don't care if you're into kinky bondage or you get arrested by the cops. Normal handcuffs use the same key. Not this handcuff.
Yes, it's a special key. From what I understand, you would literally have to it's easier to take his hand off than it is to take the briefcase from the cuff.
Oh, yeah.
But, Justin stays behind. Good riddance.
In a way, but at the same time, I did feel a little bit of something, but it wasn't because of Justin. It was because of them. They there's a lot of bad acting in Rangers, but I have to give it to it. This last episode, it felt tensioned. Yeah. Like, it felt tensioned, it felt sad, it felt scary. Like, dude, that fight inside of the command center is one of the greatest I'm willing to say.
Not just inside, but outside the command center,
I'm willing to say that this 2-part episode is in the top 10 greatest episodes ever filmed on Rangers, period.
Yeah. Which, like I said, that's the reason why I remembered this as soon as I got to it. The rest of it,
dude, when they were blowing shit up and kicking out the lights and tipping over the control panels and everything was going crazy and they were fighting in the background, the lights were flickering off and on and the skylights were blowing in and the building was coming down.
Speaking of which, anybody else think that one of the Piranatrons was there was a young Hugh Jackman inside of there?
Why?
Because one of the Piranatrons dives over the console and does the Wolverine dive.
I see that. He was like,
and it hits for once.
It hit for once.
Probably because he didn't have actual claws.
Yeah, no shit. Has been Wolverine.
So the censor allowed it.
Yep.
Now, I know this will probably start dipping into the next one, which I don't know if I should bring up or not, but Alpha's still talking. I thought in the start of the next series,
He won't be able to talk for reasons, and we'll definitely be talking about that when we get there. Because, I do remember that.
And by the way, more proof that Alpha has to hide the Sinister around him. As soon as he starts getting jumped by Piranhatrons, he says, nope, fuck on you, and damn near kills like 2 of them before he realizes, oh fuck, there's Rangers around me.
Speaking of which,
oh god, and he literally throws his hands up being like,
the command center's gone.
No, he took out...
Those guys are free now, aren't they?
But he took... That's a true statement. It's very subtle, but it is kind of funny that it plays into our Sinister joke, that Alpha, when he thought he wasn't being watched, he took out 2 piranhas by himself. Yeah. He was like, bitch! And then all of a sudden Rangers were around him and he's like, oh no!
Danger Will Robinson, Danger Will Robinson.
Save me!
Yeah.
And I was like, you didn't need help a couple seconds ago. I watched you take those dudes out by yourself.
Exactly.
I'm Jersey Alpha. I know how to defend myself.
Yeah, that was...
You know how to Sinister like a motherfucker. That's what you know to
You're
do.
full of bullshit.
Also because the ending, we get no bloopers because it's just set on the rocket taking off.
Yeah, it's...
Yeah, I was waiting for all the bloopers, but I mean, I did catch like a couple things that were shit that should not be, but...
Dude, that episode is fucking magnificent. So shocking for the kind of show it is.
Yeah.
So fucking good.
I mean,
like I said,
with the explosion, I was expecting maybe like a limb to be missing from one of the Rangers. Oh.
Yeah, but I knew that. I knew they couldn't go that far. But it sure would have been neat to give one of them an injury. In fact, if you were willing to if one of them was ready to step out of the show, that would have been the moment to do it. Like if somebody didn't want to go to space, that would have been the moment to do it, is say they got injured during the explosion.
Yeah.
And they had to stay behind.
Because, like quite literally, like I said, there's only like 2 things that they should have reshot. At least 2. The first was like one of the extras as they were trying to climb up, the Piranhatrons were trying to, quote, climb the mountain. One of them slipped and slid like halfway back down, and I was like, fucking really?
Yes, he did.
And then the other one is, if you pay close enough attention, you could kind of see the dudes that like have the seats way the fuck back as they're trying to like put the cars in reverse and not run anybody over, and then slam on brakes and put them in drive and go a little bit. And, like you can kind of see hair and a head bobble every now and again, but that's about it.
And then a head bobble.
Yep. I think that's it.
So that covers the whole series now.
So here it is.
Congratulations.
This is gonna be
the rating time.
It's gonna be interesting.
Which is especially gonna be fun because Shane had to dip out like 10 minutes ago.
Okay, so
he's no longer here to rate.
Where are you?
Fuck.
Oh boy.
Dude,
look, the last 2 episodes were fucking amazing. But that doesn't make up for the fact that most of the rest of this is standard Ranger, so most of it is filler. But most of that filler is like
almost unwatchable.
Yes. Quite literally. The only thing that allowed me to get through most of this is not a joke. I picked up my fucking 3DS.
Yeah.
And I played Pokemon Yellow, got up to the stupid fucking cave on the Indigo Plateau, and I said, I'm not dealing with this right now. I'm completely out of fucking repels. I'm tired of dealing with all these stupid little fucking gravelers and shit like that, and random ass Onyxes and Zubats. I'm gonna stop this, and I switched over to fucking Donkey Kong for the Game Boy, and I made it all the way up to like World 4. So that's the only thing that saved me on these from not like pulling out my scrotum hairs with tweezers, like you said earlier.
Damn right. Dude, it's like, this is the stuff that worked in this series works really well, and the episodes that stand out are fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
The other episodes are so fucking bad.
Yeah.
And here's the real kicker, though: 80% of the really interesting conversation that I could pull from the series is from shitty episodes.
Yeah.
So the episode does not get a pass for giving me something to talk about. Sure, I found really interesting things that I could point out, and I found a lot of fan theories and a lot of stuff that I can try to defend
That's how we were able to talk 10 minutes on a PSA about don't litter in the woods.
Oh, wait.
But that episode sucks.
Yeah.
That's something Shane was going to bring up about your Billy theory.
What?
Yeah, Shane said that he was going to bring up something with your Billy theory, but now he's gone. He can't.
No, he was messing with me. He said he can't disprove that.
But, yeah. Because he gave him a bunch of shit about it. He was like, really? How are you going to disprove me? And Shane was like, technically I can't. Other than the voice actor sounds like Adam, but I'm
Yeah, that's what he said.
I can't. I was like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
It needs a rating.
My rating is rhino shit.
Shards of rhino shit.
Like the time where the tail goes across the front of his
Don't stop giving me shit to add on to this.
That's an old reference. That's what that is. Gotta go back and watch 50 Shades of Norman Bates review. Fuck. You know what? It isn't standard Rangers, so I mean, the episodes that stand out, stand out. The filler is boring dog shit that I would say skip.
God.
But, it's not quite on par with where it should be. 2.7.
Where are you at?
Okay, now I mostly agree, except for the bullshit filler episodes. There are some plot points throughout them, which are important, but not as much as the full episodes that have major plot points overall. So...
Well, that's what I was saying. It did. I found a lot to talk about in the episodes that don't matter.
Yeah.
But just because I had a lot of conversational pieces doesn't mean the episodes are watchable for anybody. Let's see, because here's why we're rating. We're rating because somebody else is going to maybe see this series depending on what we say here today.
Yeah.
And while I could point out a lot of cool stuff that the average person would not have seen, because the average person watches Power Rangers like this. Monsters. Fighting, kids, Saved by the Bell, kaiju, done. It was pretty good. They had swords and shit.
Yeah.
It's done. It's done. They move on. But we don't do that. We talk about what was going on. Sometimes we get behind the scenes. Sometimes we talk about things we saw, reused equipment, and all kinds of shit like that. We make fun and make jokes.
All the multiple times where you could catch different errors within the editing, where like the fucking the final battle where the Megazord is walking forward and getting shot at. And then next thing you know, it's holding a sword, standing back here,
it just had
and then
guns.
it's walking forward again.
I saw it. It's just like guns. Nope.
a lot of the stuff we weren't really noticing the first time when we saw this stuff too.
Right. So,
but for me, it's like with all.
Or where it gets thrown through a mountain and then they rewind the footage so when the mountain comes back.
I saw that and I literally went, what?
But once again, with this set of episodes, it's like, okay, once again, there's only like a few important ones. So overall, there's been like only maybe 2 handfuls of good, important episodes total.
Maybe 12.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be able to remember off the top of my head right now going through the list, but I'll bet you maybe there's, in terms of standouts.
I would say maybe 16 that actually matter. Because even some of the filler shows, like spots where like Divatox is learning.
Well, here's the thing. But here's what sucks. Here's what gives this show an unfair advantage. The original teens, we knew them.
Right.
So when they did a filler episode with the original teens, it was filler as shit.
Right.
It meant nothing.
Yeah.
Every time they do a filler episode with these kids, we don't know them. So they get away with doing dumb shit like, she's a mechanic now.
Right.
Well, that gave her a character element that she didn't have. But that episode in general is garbage and serves no purpose except for, hey look, character stuff. Which we need because we had none of it, but that's the only reason the filler gets a pass.
Seeing as how it's going to take me 20 minutes to go downstairs to smoke, I'm going to go now. Yeah. Especially getting past Balto.
Right.
But, I'm giving the series a 3.3.
And I settled on a 3.5. So, this is a 3.2 series. It's incredibly average. The episodes that were magnificent helped it from falling down to the 2s. And that's about all I can say about it. So, the cars are broke down.
Hey guys, did you like that podcast? If so, remember to check out fandomnight.com. At fandomnight.com, you can drop a line to this show, or you could check out other podcasts as well. We cover all kinds of topics, everything from comic books, wrestling, movies, TV shows, video games, animes, mangas. It's outrageous. We seem to have a podcast for just about everything, and you have access to it just by going over to fandomnight.com. So check it out, guys. We're going to get out of here.